All right, a very good evening to you folks here on Speed Gaming 2. Welcome to yet another race in the Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Randomizer 2021 tournament. A bit of a short notice surprise for you here on this Wednesday evening. We are now giving you a nice race between MightyCaesar37 and erinexplosives. I'm Captain MD. I'm joined tonight by Jagger G. How you doing tonight, Jagger?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm pretty excited for this race. These are some really good players. They're very knowledgeable, especially out-of-bounds shenanigans they're very familiar with. And movement in general should be pretty good.
Indeed. I know some folks in the chat were complaining of my gutsy Dark Aether runs last night. If you thought that was something, wait until you see some of the stuff that these runners can put out. I know Mighty Caesar gave some of our runners our commentators a good scare back in 2020. Won't be any different tonight, I'm sure. We do have no gentlemen's agreements in play tonight, so it will be a standard start. And
I like the tournament settings, although the more wacky settings that are absolutely not tournament viable are also pretty fantastic. There is so much to do in the randomizer.
Absolutely. We have had a lot of fun with our custom settings. We had a recent random with unlocked translators that gave translators in 5 minutes, so it didn't really matter. We've had a lot of random starts lately, a lot of skip final bosses, which I can understand that. But yeah, we've been flexing our gentlemen's agreements and flexing our randomizer settings for the last week and a half especially. So there's going to be a lot of fun. Now, what are you looking to see tonight?
It's been kind of a toss-up between like jet seeds and trolley seeds lately. Well, there have been a lot of average seeds as well, but what I would like to see is Sanctuary required for once. There was at least one match where Sanctuary was pretty heavily required last night. We'll see if that happens again tonight.
Indeed.
Pretty much throughout the tournament, it's been the Torvis for Go mode show. And Sync has been pretty barren lately.
Sorry, just communicating with the SG staff over a couple of things while we're getting things started. But yeah, it's good to see some variety with Sank being required. Last night, in my race with Diggle, we had a couple of Sank requirements. We did have a required Spider Guardian. What else did Sank need? I'm trying to remember if anything specific. Echo was in Hazen Clip, but it didn't really matter. There was a suit and aerial training site, which we did need because Sank Map Station had a key. The other race tonight is going to be at, we have a question chat for that. It will be at 9:30 p.m. on the main Speed Gaming channel, and that will be Bash Prime versus Kirby Master.
I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah,
I was going to offer to commentate, but this morning it was already covered. People are really on the ball.
Same. And then this match came up, and I decided, you know what? Might as well make sure that one's good.
So bear with us for a moment. We are working on getting the cropping adjusted for Caesar's End, and we'll be good to go. I see we do have a bit of a controller input display on Caesar's End.
Yeah, that's all right. It's set with high transparency, so it won't overshadow the whole screen.
Yeah. I just read the first two letters. I was trying to say McGill for the longest time.
Both of our runners are currently 1-1 as we enter this third round of Swiss. So either will be looking to increase their win rates to 2-1 tonight.
round 3 out of 5. I'm not sure exactly what the record needs to be to make top 8. Probably just 3 and 2 would be good enough for some people. Maybe not
Yeah,
others.
it's definitely going to depend on how the rest of the Swiss rounds go for sure. But yeah, 3-2 definitely seems like the score to at least try for. But we shall see as we kick things off soon. I guess while
That's
we are
not-
waiting,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I guess if you're looking for our schedule for Friday, we've got a couple of races planned. We've got Lucarius versus Inner Slice. Now, that's going to be a good race. And Arrow Razor versus Iliaster. That's 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. respectively. Channels to be determined. But I see chat dreaming up a lot of nightmare potential scenarios, which, it's kind of tough to say with these tournament settings how they'll play out.
So seed hash tier forgotten ruined. Wonder what that could mean.
It means that there will be a super missile on the ship, a Sky Temple Key and Forgotten Bridge, and for some reason secret missiles will be in Ruined Nursery.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wait, wrong game.
Oh no, it's ruined. Getting a bit of a peek at the tracker Caesar's using. So there are several versions of trackers to use for Prime 2 Rando. Do you have any particular favorite?
I've been using the Randomania auto tracker lately, just so it's easier to track the number, mainly for tracking SDK numbers, if anything.
Yeah.
Just so I don't lose track.
I personally prefer to manually track, but yeah, that is an issue, just knowing how many Sky Temple keys I have, and area keys as well. But area keys, at least I could check the map, but that does cost time.
Indeed.
Although you could technically check your inventory in the pause menu, but that's ridiculous to navigate.
Yeah, that is one thing that Echoes is a little rough on. That would be fixed in Corruption, thankfully. But
the DCR and Poolage, I believe, tracker is pretty popular.
On the subject of Corruption, we'd like to remind the audience that there is, in fact, a Metroid Prime 3 Corruption rando out there.
Just went live, a couple of months ago?
In November, yeah, early November. One setting I'd like to have implemented to Echoes Rando in due time. I don't know if you're familiar with Ori and the Blind Forest Randomizer, but there's a setting there called World Tour, where one item in every area of the world is replaced by essentially a MacGuffin. And there are, as it turns out, 9 areas in Aether that have items. So you could, if in theory, place one Sky Temple key in each of those. But unfortunately, to my understanding, the Randomania doesn't have the ability to region lock certain items.
That would be really interesting, though. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that way there'd be a 1 in 5 chance that a Sky Temple key is on Umos 2.
I think it's...
It's 1 in 5.
It is 5, isn't it?
Yeah, Transport A, Transport B, Dark Alpha Splinter, and Umos 1 and 2.
I forgot Alpha Splinter. Last night, we pretty much had a World Tour seed. We had 3 major items in Sanct Fortress and 3 major items in Lower Torvis.
Oh my. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah. It took me over 2 hours, so definitely a longer one. It was an excellent seed for making use of Cannonball.
Indeed, although, yeah, Cannonball has actually really been having some good uses. We saw a case last week where Cannonball was allowed to skip a Morbus for Dark Beam and, what was it, Sand Processing. And last night we had a case as well where Cannonball could have been used to skip a Morbus, since the Morbus had Boost Ball itself.
Nice, yeah.
And we are now off in the race time, so we will be catching up in just a moment here. Thank you, folks, for your patience. And here we go. We got a Vanilla Violet start here. You do generally want to see either Violet or some kind of additional weapon in your first item. The Amber Translator is in Temple Grounds. That's a good hint.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice starting with Violet, so you don't have to consider coming back after a Sanctuary to get the hint. I always just put it off until I save Warp instead, which just leaves the hint behind. It could be important information, but oh well.
More often than not, that first hint will generally be pretty useful, unless, of course, it's a joke hint. Like one time, I think we had O'Lear right away.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like we're going to have a pretty standard Dark Splinters fight here. Under ideal circumstances, you try to group the Splinters up so that the Charge Beam kind of hits more than one at a time, although the Charge Beam splash damage is not 50, it's finicky.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if there's a method to guarantee they group up, but sometimes they walk close to each other and it helps a lot.
I think more sidestepping generally helps, but not a guarantee. But yeah, both runners having generally no issue starting up Dark Alpha Splinter here.
So there is a trick you could do against Dark Alpha Splinter. Whenever you take damage for the first time in a good while, you hit recoil animation, and that recoil animation just skips the cooldown for Charge Beam unless you start charging instantly again.
Really?
So, yeah, so you could save a good second or so every time that happens. But like with the Dark Samus 4 strat, where you basically can't recoil again, you just can't use that strat to your benefit until like basically the end of the fight. So maybe you can use it twice.
That was an almost near perfect Dark Alpha Splinter synchronized takedown, so very well done.
Yeah.
Well, whatever's up top ain't glowing like a Christmas tree. Looks like an energy tank.
It would be nice, but these players don't need it right now.
Yeah, no missiles yet, so we won't be able to conveniently check Storage Cavern B right at this moment. Usually, the next major item is either in Transport to Aegon or Portal Access A, and although in this case, I think missiles or bombs have to show up here.
Let's hear in Tess. Tess is probably going to be their next item. unless it's nothing major.
I think it might have been an energy tank. It definitely wasn't glowing like a movement system.
Yeah, if it's a missile tank, it might be worth it. Yeah, it looks like Erin's going for it. She is very familiar with extended dashes, actually, so she's gonna have an easier time getting this.
Wow,
As
flawless.
demonstrated. So the extended dash is a modification of a regular dash. Normally, your speed is capped, no matter what direction you go. That was a change between Prime 1 and Prime 2. But if you jump straight up and then a little bit later you tap to the side and then release jump, you'll just get flung into the ground. And normally this just like it feels bad when that happens, but in this case it's an uncapped dash. So you go really fast, and then you could hold R and do a bunny hop off of the ground afterwards to just fly across the screen.
Yeah, and it's paid off for both of our runners as they have picked up Dark Suit in Storage Cavern B.
Very nice.
And we see that beam-related upgrade is in a Cursed Lake. Now, we know that can't be Light Beam since we need that to get in there, so it's either going to be Dark or Annihilator, if it's a beam, or a super combo.
MightyCaesar taking this moment to open the gate before continuing on to Aegon. It's kind of interesting.
And there are bombs, so we can now get that missile tank. And Seekers are in Aegon, so that might be our first logical missile launcher today.
That would be really nice. Well, just knowing where Seekers are in general is pretty fantastic.
More likely, they're chilling in mining station access at this point, because I think mining station access or portal access A. They have to pretty much be in one of those two at this point.
Well, they could. There are cases where missiles could be quite a bit delayed.
That is true, especially if you have mains required.
Interesting. Both Erin and Caesar are opting to backtrack a bit before continuing.
Ooh, and in different directions,
Caesar going
too.
one way, yeah. Caesar going towards Hyperchamber B, and Erin going to GFMC. Both of which have items that they cannot get until they fight bosses in Aegon Waste. So it's surprising. Amber is a really nice find, though.
Indeed, yeah. With Amber Translator, the big one is reading hints. The other is checking sand cache. But yeah, there's a grand total of 5 Amber hints in Aegon, and once Secret Missiles show up with Dark Beam, they're going to be almost all readable.
Was that Amber the first hint? Or I think it was, actually.
Amber was the first hint. In the Great Temple. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good heads-up play by Erin and Caesar to go hunting for that before entering Aegon.
And it looks like MightyCaesar's got the same ideas to just look for that Amber Translator before diving Aegon, just because, again, Amber Translator is actually a very useful pickup before going into Aegon, and they're not going to be worried about energy tanks now that they've got Dark Suit. The only thing that might concern them is the Ying themselves.
Hints surprisingly have been so huge in this tournament. It was almost negligible in the first tournament. It was just very rare that a hint was actually useful. But nowadays, they're pretty critical.
Indeed, and the main reason is because the red key hints got condensed. Because if you think about it, there's a total of 22 hints in the pool. 4 of them are taken up by the main boss and Yumo's 2 hints. Let's see this one before I continue my ramble here. The Aegon Temple keys are in Inghive, Sank, Fortress, and Temple Grounds. Inghive, Sank, and Temple Grounds. So how much do you want to bet 2 of those are Spider's treasure?
Probably.
Ooh, Annihilator. There we go. Yeah, now they're not scared of Dark Aether anymore.
Although surprisingly, Annihilator not so great on dark or light doors. It just doesn't open them.
Not on doors, absolutely not, but on light spheres, absolutely. All right, MightyCaesar has chosen to go all the way to GFMC and picks up Space Jump. Unfortunately, picking it up a second time through a Duke will not grant 2D space jump.
If only.
Portal Access A having a missile tank. No sign of Seekers yet. Which means... Actually, they found Annihilator. So, now that they found Annihilator, I wonder if... Umos 2 is an energy tank. Okay.
You thinking Doomed Entry or what?
No, Doomed Entry's out of play without Space Jump. I'm thinking Jump Guardian. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's all they can check right now. Although, actually, that Space Jump is in logic, because the game can expect... Actually, no, it's not. We don't have Emerald Translator.
Another very nice extended dash for Aaron to skip basically the top part of Mining Station A.
Is it me, or did Aaron not read the Mining Station A hint?
I don't think she did. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't
think she did either. I'm just trying to think of what could be in play right now. And the only thing that comes to mind immediately is Jump Guardian. Because this is out of logic without a proper missile launcher, which we don't have yet.
That's just true. Not that it matters for this fight, but Annihilator does do 12 damage naturally, and it's neutral against pretty much everything. So you can... I kind of like that it's nerfed before you get the beam ammos, so it's not super overpowered as it normally is.
Indeed, yeah, because plasma, like charged plasma in Prime 1 does like 100 damage, which is a lot. It's twice as much as charged power. I'm not sure how much charged Annihilator does. I think it's close to the same amount. I think that's a translator.
I think it might be something like 60 or something ridiculously low. It's not great. Well... It's probably 120 or something.
Yeah, confirmation. Of course, we can double check our like damage sheets later.
Yeah, imagine like doing research.
Now let's see. Actually, come to think of it, there might be progression on the ship now, given that Space Jump was in GFMC and we do have logical access to Jump Guardian. Actually. No, technically, to get to Jump Guardian, we still need a missile, don't we? Yeah, we do. So maybe it's right here in Sand Cache. Ooh, oh, Judgment Pit contains the Echo Visor. They're Seekers. That makes more sense.
Okay. All right, everything's in logic now.
Yep. So yeah, Jump Guardian is guarding the Echo Visor tonight.
Well, everything except Space Jumpers until they get either Emeralds, screw attack, or power bombs.
Well, that's true. They don't have a... Well, again, the game may expect a one-way trip through GFMC on your first go. But now that the Emerald is in play, they can make that first-way trip completely. And you know what else we have access to right now because of Emerald Translator? Profane Path. Because of where Echo is.
Oh, yeah.
And with Dark Suit, I bet you the game's not caring about energy tanks.
That sounds accurate. So damage throughout Dark Aether is kind of... It's all been estimated. DCR did a ton of work just looking through individual rooms and writing down all the damage requirements from node to node, from every safe zone to every other safe zone and whatnot. So traversal in the Dark World, it's known how much damage it takes if you have decent movement, and under the tournament settings that those damage amounts are multiplied by 1.5. But with Dark Suit, they have 5 times Dark World protection. They only take 1.2 damage per second, whereas Varia's 6 damage per second. So they basically have 5 tanks.
Yeah, the equivalent comes to about, let's see, 33, you double that, 66, plus another 16.5, about 72.5 seconds of Dark Aether time right now on one tank. Looks like both runners pretty much forced to go with the typical pellet missile charge strat.
Although to note,
that's Dark
phase
Beam.
on grounds won't be available until at least grapple or screw attack.
A grapple dark visor
like
or
to call
screw.
it.
Yeah, grapple dark visor or screw attack. But it should be noted that I'm fairly certain that was Dark Beam in Crossroads.
Nice.
So we are looking for Boost Ball, and that's perfectly fine because we have Annihilator already.
They have bomb, space jump, and
That is true.
well, I guess that's all you need. Yeah. It's actually pretty hard to do that without screw attack.
All right, so
But-
MightyCaesar is just crossing into the Aegon Energy Control, or out of the Aegon Energy Controller, picked up Emerald, and Aaron's going to check the broom closet. Now we know a Dark Aegon key can't be here. Instead, it is. Oh, I stand corrected. It is Dark
Oh.
Beam here. Oh, then maybe it's Dark Burst up top.
Could be. Dark Burst is a nice find. So I had a seeder earlier this week where Dark Burst was fairly early on, and bombs wound up being my go mode.
I
And it was just a tournament setting seed. It was just, it was very open ended.
bombs were your go mode at a tournament seed. That's amazing, honestly.
Out of logic, but yeah.
I hope I demonstrated to the folks at home last night that Dark Burst was useful.
Yeah, beam combos, especially for like flying pirates, they can be pretty handy. Like for Sink Entrance, for example, is a pretty good strat with Sonic Boom.
Sank Entrance, Torvis Temple, Bomb Guardian, Night Barb Clusters.
You do have to be a bit careful in Torvis Temple, though. If you do happen to kill one of the pirates on the first frame that it spawns, it actually doesn't fade out, and thus the fight doesn't end. There'll just be a corpse just lying on the ledge forever.
Oh, the flying pirates, you mean?
Yeah.
Fascinating. All right, well, there's a visor in 15 minutes. But it looks like MightyCaesar is interested in picking up what is in Central Mining Station. We see another red key, or we see a red key in Junction Site, which, again, we know it's not an Aegon key. We get another energy, second found energy tank in Cache 4. Unfortunately, because Jump Guardian's been defeated, it's a little crowded in here in dueling range.
Yeah. Oh, that's lucky. That's gonna help a lot against Jump Guardian when Caesar goes there finally.
Indeed. So we've now seen everything in Dark Aegon and Lower Dark Aegon besides Warrior's Walk. So at the moment, it's nice to know what may or may not be needed on your first pass. Like just being able to see everything, like that's what really makes a play like this worth it. Caesar picking up light beam here. That's gonna mainly, if Spider Ball shows up primarily, that's gonna just allow Mighty Caesar to route in ventilation area A a little more smoothly.
Also, the light beam gives them access to central mining station in Logic.
Very true. It should also be noted that Mighty Caesar has not picked up Dark Beam, so will unfortunately not be able to check the item in storage D if it is important.
Not going to stop him from trying. Well, he's probably going to biostorage.
Yeah, just check bioenergy production real quick. That's really the only other item we can safely check here.
You can look at storage D and then BSJ out of the fight.
Very true, and I suspect that's what Mighty Caesar might try to do, depending on what shows up here in bioenergy. All right, so Aaron has save warped. Let's see what the play is. This might be a play to DMT. We can't check. Aaron cannot check Plane of Dark Worship yet without going to Labs for Light Beam. And Aaron is not stopping for the energy tank.
Ain't got time for that.
And yeah, for right now, with Dark Suit and one energy tank, that really is all you need for extended Dark World traversal. Because again, now it's about like almost 2.5 minutes of Dark Aether time. That lets you do some thinking. Alright, Mighty Caesar rather. Hi, Jagger. Mighty Caesar is electing to not pick up the item in bioenergy production. Just nope right on through. And Aaron will be picking up Space Jump, but will also be able to check the item on the ship here. It should be noted, we also found all beams in 10 minutes. Or 15
pretty
minutes.
Good.
Yeah, beams early is really good, because again, having Annihilator for Dark Aether may not be great for DPS, but it's great for making sure the Ing aren't pestering you the whole time.
Yeah, although with so many items already found, I'm starting to think there's going to be nothing left to put in Sanctuary.
Yeah, that is definitely a concern, and a light ammo tank, which means Aaron effectively has proper Annihilator beam usage. Which is a good thing.
There have been quite a few balancing changes throughout item placement. Before, there wasn't even odds of, however that phrase works, of...
Did you know Bigfoot exists in the Prime? Bigfoot Santa Claus exists in the Prime. I couldn't even read the whole thing, but
yeah.
Something about Bigfoot and Santa Claus.
I think there's a trooper that references them in GFMC. Pretty close by. Nice.
That's a good one. I've never seen that hint before. That's really cool.
But yeah, Sanctuary used to have higher weighting because it has so much fewer items, so it basically balanced out. But that ended up just meaning that as soon as you have access to Sanctuary, there's always progression there. So I think that's been toned down a bit, and now it's not as viable a play anymore. It's pretty barren now.
And get this, Aaron's going to go ahead and check Phazon Grounds with all the equipment we have. It's a nice, quick, easy logic play. That is a red key, which we know is not an Aegon key once again.
Just missiles and profane path. That's disappointing. Not checking Phazon Grounds.
Well, Phazon Grounds is still out of logic without A, a grapple Dark Visor, or B, Screw Attack, so... Yeah, right now there's nothing else we can do here. Yeah, sorry, Mighty Caesar. Annihilator Beam does not work on those crystals.
That's right. It used to be more common for Phazon Grounds to have something. I guess not so much lately.
It had a Sky Temple key last night. It's had a couple Sky Temple keys. But yeah, I'm being it's being confirmed in chat that yeah, it was a trooper security scan that has that Bigfoot reference. That's a good one. But okay, so it's interesting. We found 3 unique non-Aegon red keys so far. One of them being Inghive, to be fair, but that's kind of concerning. And we already have Echo and Annihilator too, so we only need Screw Attack, and that's essentially the 3 essentials for Quadraxis. I see chat pointing out that Prime 3 really improved the formula in the sense that there's enough more grapple upgrades. And yeah, the way grapples are in the Prime Randomizer trilogy is, in Prime 1, grapple is a meme beam. In Prime 2, grapple is actually kind of decent and can actually speed you through a couple of horizontal areas. In Prime 3, grapple swing is like, no, God, please stop, I don't want to do Elysia.
Yeah, I used to find that basically any video game that has a grapple mechanic, like a grapple swing mechanic, is just inherently awesome.
Especially
and
when you
then
get
Prime
2 of
3
them.
came out and you get 5 of them.
Yeah. I think that's almost 5. Yeah, 4 total, I think. Lasso, swing, voltage, hyper.
And then ship grapple.
Right. All right, MightyCaesar's going to actually give us another look, give another shot at Central Mining Station here, which was another energy tank, which we're not going to say no to at this point. We see Battleground contains a missile-related upgrade. Missile-related upgrades are going to be useless at this point. MightyCaesar is still not bothered to read the Amber Hint or pick up secret missiles for that matter. Alright, so it was only an ammo tank on Dark Missile Troopers, so I'm trying to think where now we can find progression. We got Ventilation Area A. We don't have logical access to Spider's Treasure yet. We haven't even seen a power bomb tank.
With Dark Beam and Light Beam, definitely Battleground is in play.
Battleground is in play. Doomed Entry is in play. In Cache 1
is in play.
Yeah, both beams in a suit, absolutely. And Amber. Yeah, we could have progression in Path of Roots. Actually, we still need a grapple. So the next potential good spot would have to be like Forgotten Bridge or something.
It's just a matter of how early would the players be willing to dive it when they have quite a bit of Vagon left.
Ooh, getting a look at Mining Plaza. It looked like a light ammo tank. Not 100% sure, though.
It sure would be nice to find supers before going to Torvus, but it's been known to be in Torvus.
Yeah, it's shown up in Torvus itself a few times. Usually either Torvus Temple access or somewhere in the early Torvus neighborhood. And that is a cheeseburger up in the top of Mining Station A. Unfortunately, we are not currently on the layer that is laced with bees. So Erin's going to have to do a bomb space jump in order to get up to this spire here. Like so.
Not that she'll have too much difficulty.
And just like that. Now
Final bosses are enabled, yes.
Final bosses are enabled, and oh, we're actually getting a proper look at Crossroads, and it turns out just to be dark ammo. Foiled by the glow.
I like how even still, Caesar doesn't have Dark Beam and Erin doesn't have Light Beam.
Yeah, and only an energy tank in mine shaft. Aaron's going to just ignore it and proceed to mining station B, which can be acquired with a nice little BSJ right now. No need to go get boost ball for it just yet. The item in question appears to be a missile tank, but of additional value, a hint. That chica is dead. Aw, so we basically don't need to worry about keys. Well, until we confirm. We basically know everything we need to know about red keys for today. We know where the Morbus keys are. They're probably, 2 of them are probably chilling in Sank. I am calling it right now. Alrighty. Probably wishes he had that about 10 minutes ago. Try to get a little extra light ammo. I saw a 30 pop out there, so that should be enough. For a light beam quick kill on Jump Guardian, you only need about 27 shots.
Yeah, 27 to be safe. I think 26 is kind of the limit, but you never know if you're going to miss first shot or two. Although if you combine them with missiles, you can actually kind of clink the buttons. So you fire light beam and immediately after fire a missile. And you can continue firing light beam at the regular rate. So you don't really... You just wind up doing 30 extra damage every 2 light beam shots. So.
Yeah, I think Bash Prime has been known to do that in some of his races this tournament. It's shown up a couple other times.
So it's about 20 light beam shots and 10 missiles. Well, I guess it's better to do 19 light shots and 11 missiles or something like that, just to get it as close to 0 as possible.
Whatever else.
Once it's gonna bring Jump Guardian to 0, it just doesn't do damage.
Exactly. Whatever equates to as close to 1100 as you can without going over. As in the Price is Right. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Looks like Aaron is not interested in the battleground hint for the moment. Maybe might get on the way out, but we do know that it is not referencing anything of significance at this point.
Yeah, it's almost like blackjack.
And I think Aaron realized immediately that that's light beam in the tunnel because it's basically the only other thing in the in this game that really glows like a Christmas tree.
You need to look into micro routing command center a little better because you could actually activate the shutter gate without activating the shutter door, and that'll disable the electric fields. So
yeah,
sometimes I go activate that.
How is that done? Because I always was never clear on that.
I think it's just 2 separate hitboxes for each layer. They're just very close together.
Fascinating. If you'll forgive my Spock.
Always.
All right, so I think we do have probably progression behind Dark Beam at this point, either in Storage B or... actually, that's just about all progression could be in, although we have Torvis access, so could be progression in Forgotten Bridge at this point. To answer the question, Chad, MightyCaesar has not picked up Seeker missiles yet. At least not as far as I'm aware.
I think the Morphball Tunnel gate hitbox is like just behind the gate, Trigger is right behind the gate, just kind of sticking up vertically, whereas the shutter gate is a little bit past that in the little ditch there.
Okay.
You can also opt to trigger the Dark Samus in the next room to shut those gates first, and then you can shut the other gate, the Morphball Tunnel gate, freely.
Oh, so that removes the gate shutter, the big gate trigger.
Yeah.
Okay. Might just do that then, going from reverse. To answer a question, Chad, Seekers were in Sand Cache, and I got a double. I guess MightyCaesar must have picked him up. We'll double check in a minute. We'll know for sure when if MightyCaesar checks mining station B. It should be noted, Aaron did not check storage A despite having a power bomb. I don't think, at least. MightyCaesar is electing to not proceed into mining station B. Oh, Aaron didn't have light beam for storage A. That makes sense. I think.
Yeah.
What was that in Doom Entry? Was that Dark Ammo or was that Dark Burst? Yeah, that's Dark Burst.
Oh, okay. So it was ammo and Crossroads.
Yeah, it was ammo. MightyCaesar scanned it. All right, so we're going to see ventilation area A now from MightyCaesar.
Aaron making sure to destroy all the explosives in the room before passing through it. The Phazon crate especially can be really nasty if you're trying to roll shot the portal. Sometimes when you unmorph, it makes you face the door instead, which is right behind the Phazon crate, so you just shoot that and die.
Ooh, yeah, that would be painful. But MightyCaesar bearing some fruit in ventilation area A, getting the big thing that glows like a Christmas tree, main power bombs.
Nice.
So we now have a way into Sanctuary. And then I have key 3 in storage D.
And if you needed any more incentive to go into Sanctuary, there you go. I'd just dip Spider's treasure and leave, personally.
It's getting to the point where I'm almost willing to bet Quad might have screw attack. Because you don't need it to get in, you only need it to get out.
That's true. There's a lot to hope for, though.
Yeah, and we have, the only other and we have Echo Visor too, so if screw attack is in Vault Side or on Quad, there's only one logical way up. Oh, hello. That is Cobalt in Cache 2. That's a very heads-up play there from Aaron to do that. First try that scan dash, by the way.
Yeah, I personally struggle with that one a great deal. The very first advanced logic siege I did required that, and I had no idea. Kind of killed the fun.
Oh my. Aaron is making mincemeat of this Dark Aegon here. Was debating about that powerbomb tank, decides to pick it up for safety, I imagine.
Still not good at that Phazon site scan dash to Incash 2. Can't quite get my head around it.
Yeah, it might be a good question to ask for the interview for sure, because that was very impressive. We'll see if MightyCaesar decides to go in the same direction here.
If Caesar does end up doing that scan dash to Incash 2, I would be... I'm going to want to take a close look at his input viewer.
All right, we see that it is a energy tank in Battleground, and that basically ends our Dark Aether dive, so the only major goodie coming out of this is Cobalt Translator, and that's out of logic. But all translators, especially now when we have Torvus access and we just got Sanctuary access, that's pretty big. That allows you to really compile a nice shopping list of what to do. We didn't even get a chance, because stuff suddenly kept appearing out of nowhere, to finish that discussion about the hints and why they're so good now.
Oh. I don't know.
Yeah, because you were saying earlier how they're like such a monumental difference, and with 22 total hints, 2 jokes, 4 guaranteed hints, that leaves, and the 3 red key hints, you take all those out, and you still have 13 unique item hints. And that's a lot more than it used to be before. And that's adding even the proxy hints. There's 3 proxy hints in every seed as well. And that's potentially 3 additional items that can be pointed to. So, yeah, the 2.0 hints now have the potential to, point up to like over a dozen items, which there's not a whole, besides keys, there's not a whole lot of unique items on the tracker. There's a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 14, like only 19-ish. 20 if you count main missile launcher. How often, we have a question, chat, how often will the logic send people to Torvus or Sank for Aegon? In these settings, it's virtually impossible.
So there are options for randomized elevators and randomized starting location and potentially random starting items as well.
Yeah, with random starting items, absolutely. But in the tournament settings, with a Great Temple start, you're guaranteed to get Violet Translator in the first 2 items, and for that reason, it's highly unlikely the game's going to give you Torvus or Sank access in the next couple afterwards. It's absolutely possible if you get, like, I'm trying to think. In order to get through Sank entrance, for example, you would need Dark Visors, Seekers, Emerald, Space Jump, and Light Beam.
Yeah.
And Boost Ball. So you need 6 items just to get through the front door. Although if you were going through Aegon, you would only need Light Beam, Bombs, Missiles, and Main Power Bombs. So you would need less items for Sank. For Torvus, you would only need Missiles, Bombs, Boost, and Seekers. And then Emerald or Supers.
So it looks like Caesar does not bend the dash according to his input viewer. It's good to know. So you can actually bend your scan dashes by pressing up or down on the control stick right before you hit R.
Ah, okay.
Looks like it doesn't have to do that. It gives you a better angle in some cases. There are some dashes that may require them. I know bioenergy... Biostorage?
Bioenergy production? The one outside storage C?
Yes, bioenergy production. Yeah. To get to storage C, you can just do a precise scan dash directly to the ledge, but it's a bit easier if you bend it slightly backwards.
Yeah, I do that scan dash quite frequently, actually. It's one of my preferreds, honestly. When it comes to trick mastery, I defer to you because I can't. I'm by no means an advanced trick. I can't even do out of bounds to save my life. So.
Unfortunately, Out of Bounds has totally different physics you got to get used to. You got to learn every room on a case-by-case basis just to find where you could actually stand, where you're not allowed to morph, etc.
Yeah. Long story short, when it comes to Out of Bounds, is that every room is inside a box where the normal physics apply, but outside the box is what's known as ether, where you just gradually rise up slowly. But every time you transition from out to inside the box, you can perform that's probably an Aegon key. Wait, no, Sky Temple Grounds. That's not an Aegon key. Sorry, my bad. But we've been seeing a lot of, again, non-Aegon red keys here. I don't know what the story is here. Although we do know, again, Chica is dead, so I don't think we have to worry too much about non-Aegon keys beyond this point.
Yeah, so Dark Zero had mentioned in the chat one match that he noticed there were numerous extra health requirements for Chica, and he thinks that was why Chica has been less common lately. I personally think it might have to do with the disbursement of temple keys as well, because I noticed those seem to be lower prioritized in placement lately.
Could be, because I know
especially with Aegon being all over the world now instead of just immediately in Aegon when you enter.
Very true. And looks like MightyCaesar is going to show us what key this is. Again, not that it matters at this point, since we know this isn't, since we know where the Aegon keys are and the other two don't matter. Yep, it's a Torvus key. Speaking of Torvus, Eren is going to head into the Torvus Quadrant. There's a lot we can do here. We can check a few hints. We can't check Hall of Honor Dead without boost. But we do see that there is a Morphball system in Cache, and I think we can reach that right now. Actually, yeah, we can. We have made power bombs. We have access to Forgotten Bridge. We can totally do it.
There is an advanced trick to get to Hall of Honor Dead and back without boost balls. It's just more difficult. Probably not worth it.
Is it like rolling into the boost slot, kind of like in Elite Research?
Not to get the item, but just to see what it is. You can get into the room and out.
And we see where our Aegon key in Temple Grounds was hiding. It was chilling right next to us all this time in Dynamo Chamber.
As a kid, I spent like 6 hours in Hall of Honor Dead trying to see if it was indeed possible to just roll through, like in Prime 1, into the home slots. And I had some weird effects. Like, I was able to rotate. I was able to get the spinners to lock in place slightly backwards from where they started.
Fascinating.
Bizarre. Yeah, but yeah, after 6 hours, I was like, no, let's just assume it's impossible.
I'm continuing to be impressed here by Aaron's movement through Path of Eyes. Gravity Boost is 3 rooms away from the Torvus map station. All right, that's a pretty good hint because Torvus map station is pretty isolated, so we don't have to branch out from too far. That puts the potential on Forgotten Bridge, Torvus Temple, or Torvus Lagoon.
Nice. Did you know there are map stations in this game? You wouldn't know it by watching tournament matches.
Very true, unless somebody accidentally sailed straight into the Hive map station in Hive Chamber B.
True.
Actually, no, I think it's Hive Chamber C.
I think it's A.
Oh, I know it's an A. You're right.
You might be thinking of the Frigate in Prime 1 that has a branch off.
That's right. And Hive Chamber C has the save station. That's probably what I was thinking of. It's called Hive Save Station, but that's another key, and that is a Sky Temple key, so by logic, Gravity Boost is required tonight. Alright, MightyCaesar's getting a power bomb refill real quick in GFMC. Might be thinking about making a quick field trip to Grand Wind Chamber. That hint there pointing in Path of Roots, pointing to the major upgrade in Storage Cavern B, which was, if memory serves me correctly, it was a suit. I think we've seen this hint already from Aaron. Oh yeah, the Bigfoot Santa Claus.
Yeah, one of the troopers says she looks up to Samus, and one of the other troopers is just like, Samus isn't real, right? There's no way one person can wipe out an entire pirate fortress.
And we did see another Sky Temple, we saw another, sorry to cut you off for a second, but we did see another Sky Temple key in Portal Chamber. Oh, wait a minute. That is a Morph Ball system in Grand Wind Chamber, I think. What's keeping us from that right now? Either Screw Attack, or Grapple plus Supers.
Yeah.
Unless that's Cannonball, obviously.
Maybe not even Grapple, because I believe... Oh, wait, no. So there's a beginner terminal fall trick in this room that could get you to the cannon, but I think beginner terminal falls are turned off.
Yes, terminal falls are turned off. The only beginners, the main beginners are like slope jumps, bomb jumps, and that is Gravity Boost in the Torvus Temple. Good. No hunting for it today for a change.
Nice.
Gravity Boost seems to be my my plague item lately.
Wait, is that... Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a Morph Ball system. Oh, it is Cannonball.
Oh, all right.
That's a terrible spot for it. That is not going to be retrieved today, unless Boost is in a lousy location like a Morbus. Totally could be. If those other 2 keys are in Spider's treasure.
Morbus or Grand Wind Chamber? I don't know.
I would say, I mean, if you know the like BSJ screw attack, which we need screw attack obviously for, but definitely Grand Wind Chamber.
Sure.
That's a trick that is like on my to-do list, but I just have not gone around to learn it.
Oh, you know what? You need Boost Ball to do it the vanilla way anyway. And
That's true.
I guess since they have to leave, since they don't have screw attack, it'll be very out of the way.
Yeah, so that's not getting picked up today, which is unfortunate. All right, so we've now seen Path of Roots and okay, wait, no, we already agreed it was going to be Torva's we already saw Torva's Temple, so yeah. So we've now satisfied our gravity boost hint.
As pointed out in chat, there is a new Grand Wind Chamber strat where you just slope jump off of a little fin on the cannon platform. And there is risk of soft blocking if you're too far left, but it's a pretty wide area where you can safely land on it.
Ah. All right, what is here in Putrid Alcove? That would be another Sky Temple piece. I can't. Aaron hasn't picked up the main power bombs, but we know they're perfectly in logic, just chilling in vent area A. And Aaron is about to get another major upgrade here.
And in addition to that,
Spider.
There we go. That's Spider Ball. So in addition to that new slope jump screw attack in Grand Wind Chamber, there's also a method without screw attack by doing a jump off of a slope right next to the item, and apparently you can just barely, with a very precise jump, you can actually make it up there.
Ah, okay.
I don't know exactly where that standable spot is, but it's there apparently.
I'm sure we'll come across, if there aren't any experts if there are experts in chat right now, they'll enlighten us, and if there are any other experts, they'll enlighten us later.
Yeah, it's like there's this little this slope underneath coming out of the platform that you can stand on, but where on that slope you can stand is just very, very small.
Fun fact, in Echo's, walls are just about a suggestion for the most part.
Boy, howdy.
Because, yeah, Aaron just casually jumped out of bounds.
So every room is in a box. Yeah, so whenever you step outside or inside the boundaries of the box, you get a 3-frame window. This applies to any ledge, really. If you get a 3-frame window to jump as soon as you leave the ground.
Yeah, and we would like to remind the audience that for the most part, this game runs at a buttery smooth 60 frames per second. So that is a 1/20th of a second window. And what Aaron has to do here, a thing about out of bounds is that you have to make sure the game knows you're in the right room, and you can tell by looking at the map. You saw Portal Chamber was still in the center there. It's about to show Lagoon now. There you go. If the game tries to load more than essentially 3 rooms at once, yeah, the game's not going to like that. The game will just outright crash.
Yeah, although you won't, like the load triggers in rooms you're not quite in won't really load, but if you try to load rooms next to the one you are in, yeah, that could be the problem.
Yeah, the GameCube didn't have a whole lot of memory to work with.
There was also a mechanic there where Aaron intentionally loaded portal chambers specifically to mess with the collision in Torva's Lagoon. And whenever you drop into angled ceilings like that, you accrue more speed with the morph ball, and whenever you unmorph, it shoves you through the ceiling, letting you get back in bounds easily.
We're seeing even more trickery. Indeed, we're seeing even more trickery from Aaron here with a bomb space jump to try and get to Torvus Plaza without, to the Torvus Plaza neighborhood without super missiles.
This was a really good one. This, fun fact, it used to be an advanced trick, but when Kirby was testing it, he told players this is too hard. This should be bumped up to expert, and so now it's an expert trick.
Okay.
Like, he's able to pull it off. He just doesn't wanna.
All right. Well, looks like MightyCaesar is considering taking the play to Spider's Treasure. We do know this is in logic now, thanks to the Spider Ball and Cache.
I do feel like the difficulties can kind of be described as whatever certain levels of players just don't feel like doing, it'll be up another difficulty from there. Hyper mode being the one with tricks that nobody wants to have to do.
Fair enough. Ooh, Aaron's powerbomb detonated just a tad bit too late there. Did get a drop, though. Luckily, Prime 2's drop system is way better than the other games. Although Prime 3's isn't too bad. Oh, there is another Sky Temple key in Hall of Combat Mastery, so forget what I said about the two Amorbus keys both being in Spider's Treasure.
What was that?
I think it was an ammo tank. It definitely wasn't important.
I thought for a brief moment it might be Echo, but maybe not.
We already have Echo.
Or, sorry, Dark Price.
Ooh, we found Boost Ball. It's in Cat West.
Interesting. Okay.
And that is not... Oh, well, there's... Yep, it's in Logic. Never mind. There is always progression in Underground Tunnel.
That's the big one.
And apparently Hazencliff as well, because Hazencliff had our super missiles. Wow, progression is all over the place today. Also, yeah, Chad points out, that was a Boost Ball hint locked by Boost Ball. Thanks, game. Actually, yeah, that hint doesn't necessarily need boost. It just needs Emerald or super missiles, which MightyCaesar has now, so...
I believe Emerald and Super Missiles, because you can't go there from Polygon without boost.
Yeah, Emerald and Supers. You're right. But yeah, with that info, that boost is in Cat West. Aaron is going to take is probably going to just gun it for Sanctuary right now, if I had to hazard a guess. But MightyCaesar is ending the Sanctuary dive, not knowing about Boost Ball. But yeah, Erin's in a position to really get a leg up on this race, getting supers and boosts, which will give her the ability to check hints, among other things. Looks like she's making a quick pit stop to Storage A with that with Light Beam in tow this time. Fairly easy to pick up a power bomb through a couple of different ways.
Makes sense. She would route this way to get to Sanctuary. Just get this on the way.
To answer a question, chat, supers are in Hazencliff. Yeah, it's always the second enemy. There you go.
Oh, I was just surprised that Crates didn't drop one.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's usually always the second Krayley, though, that you destroy.
Yeah. 20% chance that you don't get the power bomb, but there you go. Happened twice.
Looks like MightyCaesar's going to take that power super missile real quick and just make a quick pit stop at Storage C. We do know this is in Logic now. What it will be eventually, but we know we can get both ball upgrades or Screw Attack. Take your pick. Looks like MightyCaesar's lining the platforms up to do. Looks like he's electing to do the scan dash method. Unfortunately, the locals are objecting to this decision. Looks like
a little genocide can't fix.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, big power bomb should pretty much solves all your problems. Aaron deciding to try and farm another power bomb off of the bees. Sorry, bees and I just don't get along. And just a missile in Sand Canyon.
Yeah, this hazing cliff is probably gonna put Aaron pretty close to, if not in go mode.
Yeah, at this point, the only two things that are really going to slow her down are going to be Dark Visor and Light Suit. Unfortunately, that bug down there is being a little argumentative. Alright, so Aaron now has main power bombs. Yeah, with main power bombs, screw attack, we can pretty much full clear Sanctuary. The only exception is Sank Map.
So you think Aaron's gonna go through Sanctuary first and get the boost ball, or just save and go straight for hints?
You know, that's a good question. I would say try to get as many Cobalt hints along the way as you can, just in case they push to Dark Visor or Light Suit. And if they're on the way, great. If not, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But, MightyCaesar giving us a Warrior's Walk check, just had more missiles. To answer your question, chat, Aaron does not have supers yet, is about to get him, though, and there's the other Aegon key and Culling Chamber. Now the only question is, where's the other one? Oh, please don't be in Dynamo Works.
Do we have a hint for Amorphous yet?
We do not, actually. We haven't had hints for Amorphous or Quad. We're also missing the key hints for... Yeah, we basically are 4 guaranteed hints still missing. We're missing 2 Red Temple key hints and 2 boss hints. Granted, we've still got the 3 hints in Lord Torvis and all 6 Cobalt hints. So there's still 9 hints out there. They'll show up. I am very surprised that laser did not incinerate that platform, but...
Must have just split the uprights.
You know, you'll take what you can get, you know? Alright, now we're going to get a new hint, which enlightens us that the Hive Temple keys are in Aegon and... Did that say Inghive? No. Yeah, I could see that second one.
You know, sometimes I struggle a bit with the Hall of Combat Avoidance instant morph into the treks. And I just either I don't hold R soon enough, or I wind up bringing up the map while trying to hold R.
I don't know what was in Dynamo Works, but I'm fairly certain it wasn't a key.
Caesar about to be disappointed by Profane Path. But probably we'll see if he goes to Case on Grounds.
MightyCaesar doesn't have screw attack, so...
And yet, here he goes.
Alright. He likes to try the roll jump strat, it looks like. Have we given a name to this Metroid?
I think it has one, but I don't know what it is.
Because I know the Hazing Cliff one we named Cliff.
I feel like the room named that one.
Fair enough. To answer question, chat, screw attack was in Underground Tunnel. And as we have established, there is always progression in Underground Tunnel.
I believe this BSJ is an intermediate. It's one of the easier ones. Even though you're in Phazon, it actually doesn't do as much damage as you would expect.
Indeed, yeah. Phazon is linear instead of exponential. I think it's the only game in the Prime trilogy where it is linear. Although in Prime 3, it heals exponentially. But Mighty Caesar did see a Sky Temple key in Phazon Grounds, I think. It was either Sky Temple key or the energy transfer module. Something that gave off a distinctive circular glow. Fairly certain it was a Sky Temple key, though. As has been put into our chat earlier, you definitely want to give both of these runners a follow, as they've been putting on a fantastic show for you today, just demonstrating some amazing top-tier movement and skill here. Also, follow my co-commentator, Jagger G, who is current champion standing from the 2020 tournament. Oh, I'm so sorry. No.
He's a runner-up.
Runner-up, yeah. I'm so sorry.
I'm sitting down.
No, yeah, you gave us a great show in 2020. We gotta say. That was completely.
Actually,
that was
my
completely.
final loss was probably the funnest seed I had in the tournament, so I'm not really bitter about it.
Yeah, that was completely my fault. I just completely derped.
It happens. DCR was the both the People's Champ and the actual champ last tournament. And here we go with hints.
All right, new notepad window, please. Not a whole lot of keys left to get. Phazon Grounds, we know. Sentinel's Path. Grapple Guardian. Okay, that's not brilliant, but not too bad. Under Temple, that's virtually free. And Sank Energy Controller. We're done here.
Yeah.
That is hinted go mode. So, yeah, Erin's going to be probably just zipping along here because I'm fairly certain she's confident with 3 tanks final bosses. Even in Dark Suit. Yeah, let me just run through these again. Phazon Grounds, we have Screw Attack, so we don't need Dark Visor. Sentinel's Path, we don't need Dark Visor. Grapple Guardian, Under Temple, Sank Energy Controller. Yeah, we're good to go.
Here we go. This is very good. She saved in Sanctuary Fortress before getting the hints, and now she returns to the save immediately with a save warp, and is probably going to be picking up boost on the way to Lower Torvus.
Yeah, that's actually a good point because if she knows the way to get around the statue with a well-placed boost off the spider track, she can just go to Lower Torvus, pick up the Under Temple key, and then save warp to go to Phazon Grounds. Under Temple and Grapple Guardian, I should say.
This route's so effectively. Just walk to, Screw Attack over to Energy Controller, go through Sentinel's Path, get the key there. Then you're right next to Cat West, where I believe she had the hint for boost. They both
yes.
have the hint, probably?
Mighty Caesar does not have the hint yet. Mighty Caesar needs to go to Underground Tunnel to get that hint.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, that's, I would say not such a bad seed given the circumstances.
I see in the race chat, Mighty Caesar put off Torvus for a while because, unfortunately, he forgot he had Amber.
Ooh, yeah. I wondered if that might have been the case earlier as well, since Mighty Caesar put off Seekers for so long. Because he did pick up Seekers eventually, but there were definitely a couple of opportunities to get him early on that I didn't catch. Might have to ask about that in the interview. And yeah, here's the Sentinel's path key.
Making progress.
Very true.
So while perhaps inefficient, not really a major time loss, I'd say.
Indeed. I'm going to get a nice refill there. Get that boost ball.
Now this boost off the track is going to be, well, it's generally pretty finicky. Effectively, there are points on the track where you kind of rest in place, and between those 2 points, you kind of like automatically move towards one point or another. What I personally like to do is I get between those 2 points, and while moving, before I rest in place, I just boost off and then hold left, and that usually gets me over within a few tries. Some people like to hold up while moving up the track, and that works too.
Well, we're going to see this in action for sure, as Aaron is going to be attempting to eat over this statue, and upon success, we'll just have to... upon success, we'll be able to just pick up the last 2 Torvus keys.
Yeah, basically, you want to boost diagonally off the track like that, and at some point, she'll just launch into a small gap on top of the statue.
Yeah, it looks like Aaron's electing to hold right. Usually I see runners hold left. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, makes sense. It would be symmetrical.
Now the question is how, what route will she plan to go to get into Undertemple? Will she go through Gathering Hall or through Undertemple itself? Looks like the plan is Undertemple itself.
Break these secret locks easily just by walking through them backwards.
Yeah, it's a funny thing about doors. If you open them from one side, they're assumed to be open from the other.
That's the easiest way to destroy those secret locks.
That is pretty hilarious, too.
Far. So probably Undertemple followed by... it makes sense to go to Undertemple from main Hydro Chamber portal, just in case it's on the wall and you can just skip Powerbomb Guardian itself.
Yeah.
So that would explain why she didn't go through the Dark World first and saves the portal trip.
And we'll know right away. Yeah, we'll know right away if this is based on the audio cue. This is not the key. Yep, it's the missile launcher. Wait, you're telling me we haven't been able to fire missiles for the last 72 minutes? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, with Boost and Spider, this fight will be a cakewalk. Chad pointed out earlier also that the early Echo actually ended up being very much necessary for that Sky Temple key in Sentinel's path.
Eventually, yeah.
It was nice that the game just got it out of the way early for the runners. We haven't really seen a whole lot of suffering this seed. Really, actually, the only thing I tracked on my list today was Underground Tunnel.
Man, so much for that list, huh? Nothing's being checked off, or hardly anything.
stuff is being checked off. And to be fair, Underground Tunnel probably has like 3 or 4 more ticks to go on there because of I haven't tracked week 1 or 2's Underground Tunnels yet. Unfortunately, Powerbomb Guardian is being, shall we say, rude at the moment. I'm not tracking Powerbomb Guardian to answer question, chat. Powerbomb Guardian's not that bad. Erin decided to vent some frustration on that.
Maybe she disagrees with that sentiment.
Yeah, that's the audio cue I'm looking for the key. Yeah, the thing about Sky Temple keys is that their audio cue is more, their audio is more like a consistent hum rather than an increasing buzz, a pitch increasing buzz like Under Temple Access.
I could never tell, but now I hear it.
It seems like in some rooms it's louder than in others. Like for example, last night for some reason when I went into mining station access from the right, it was louder than a Morbus, but.
Yeah, the randomizer seems to have trouble discerning where sound is coming from. Sometimes where the microphone, I guess, and where the camera is are completely different places.
You say that, and I'm now just imagining a Metroid holding a boom mic behind Samus.
Yeah. It's practically a second-person adventure game.
And then you just hear Adam in the director's chair, cut! The thing about Grapple Guardian is you can definitely get a couple of uncharged light shots off while Grapple Guardian is stunned before needing to, before throwing the charge in. Although Sunburst also works here too.
Speaking of Sunburst, I noticed on Dark Zero's match the other day, it turns out there is a way to skip the second phase of Sunburst.
Fascinating.
I assume it's a precise amount of damage followed by a Sunburst. It won't break the back, but it'll exceed the damage threshold, and then one more charge of light will just outright kill it.
Yeah, because the Fire DOT does still drain Grapple Guardian's health.
Before I was using a combination of light beam and missiles, but if you just use two light beam or charge light beam followed by 2 light beam shots and then a Sunburst afterwards in the second round, then it won't exceed the threshold like it usually did for me.
All right, and with that, that is Sky Temple Key 8 for Erin. She will save warp, go get key number 9, and fight final bosses. This actually times out really well, because right about now we should be starting the Bash Prime Kirby Master race. Alright, so MightyCaesar has returned to Temple Grounds with all the gear in tow. Should be able to retrieve hints at this point, but it looks like he's making a quick pit stop to Wind Chamber.
We'll have an opportunity to pick up Cannonball if he wants it, which he might. I don't know if you got a hint for Boost Ball, but this is pretty much an early Boost Ball.
I think he did get the hint because he has Screw Attack, which means he has to have been to Underground Tunnel.
Yes. Okay.
It looks like he's doing the BSJ you mentioned.
Yeah, he has no idea how much he has to do in Sanctuary, so might as well just get this and potentially not have to bother picking up Boost Ball at all.
And I was right. This was a Sky Temple the first time MightyCaesar checked this. It was a Sky Temple. Oh, Screw Attack, how you're so broken. It's funny, because it just absolutely annihilates those Dark Metroids, but normally it does 32 damage per frame. I'm fairly certain those Metroids are actually specifically weak to Screw Attack, now that I think about it.
You might be.
Because I'm thinking about how much, like, a full charge light shot doesn't kill them, and a full charge light shot does, like, at least over 100 damage. And I'm fairly certain that if Screw Attack was colliding with a Metroid for more than 5 frames, Samus would have bonked off of it. And it looks like MightyCaesar got the Wind Chamber skip. So, MightyCaesar's going to use this to skip Boost Ball. Because Cat West is a bit out of the way right now. That's not a bad idea.
Unfortunately, we know the routing would work out perfectly if he had gone through... Well, no, he would have to go through quite a bit of Sync. Quite a bit of areas to get to Sync, upper side.
Yeah, and would have to take the slow way up Reactor Core if going in through Sank entrance, because we don't even know where Dark Visor is, never mind.
It's actually... I don't know how many keys he actually has, come to think of it.
He's about to go get Phazon Grounds. I assume that's what this stop is for. I don't recall seeing him go to check hints yet.
Phazon Grounds, yet another room where you need to kill at least 2 enemies to get any drops. It's especially important to know if you're on low health and very suit.
Oh, yes. Not sure what Baron has against Spankweeds, but one more Dark Burst later, and Aaron is off to Sky Temple.
Actually, I'm kind of curious how much ammo she has.
Yeah, that did burn a lot of dark ammo now that I think about it, but a few Annihilator shots should fix that.
Yeah, she can shoot some caches with Light Beam here, but I like having a Dark Beam for Dark Samus personally, but I know she typically goes with Screw Attack strats instead.
It looks like she wasn't interested in refilling Dark Beam at all. That signals to me that she will elect for the Super Missile strats on Emperor 1.
Gonna have to.
I'm pretty sure Annihilator does drop both light and dark ammo from those
yeah,
Sears.
30 of each. Oh, from the Spheres, yeah.
Yeah, because the beam ammo is not like a guaranteed drop like the Power Bomb or 10 missiles are. Aaron is taking advantage of the close proximity and lousy laser hitboxes and gets a flawless Phase 1.
Still thinking about...
Oh yeah, for Sonic Boom. Never saw that today, unfortunately. Ooh, looks like that power bomb didn't get off in time before the other 2 tentacles went under. Alright, MightyCaesar just took a quick pit stop at Hall of Honor dead. Ooh, the tentacles and the liquid not exactly being cooperative here, but Aaron has gone into Phase 3. Ooh, that was a very nice first screw attack there. I do believe Emperor Ing's, wow, that was an almost flawless Emperor Ing right there. But I am fairly certain Emperor Ing's pattern is pretty much almost always the same when you think about it, because it's always laser attack, close the mouth, and then charge, usually. Or maybe that's triggered by some screw attack damage. I never did quite get the hang of that, mechanics-wise.
This has been such a fast seed. I'm really interested to hear from Erin. Hopefully Discord will cooperate this time. The other day, she was going to commentate and...
I'm DCR.
Yep, she sure is.
Yeah, with this level of movement, if those two face off, especially in the brackets, that will be a good match. Looks like she screw attacked a little early, though, and that missile hit, but I don't think Dark Samus is in centering threshold yet. Nope. Yeah, Erin was one Dark Beam short. Oops.
Yeah, so Erin was about to commentate a match the other day, and right before the match started, Discord booted her off. And apparently, it disconnected wow, those were good screw attacks. So it thought Erin was a spam bot, and it just banned her account.
Yeah, I saw a little bit about that kerfuffle. Yeah, I saw a little bit about that, but folks, get your GGs in chat for erinexplosives finishing in first place with an official race time GG time of 1:24.28.
Hello.
These seeds keep getting faster and faster. Oh, welcome to the racers. GGs.
Thanks. I can't believe I forgot that Amber existed.
So the first thing I want to ask is to Erin, are you or have you ever been a spam bot on Discord?
No, I can't say I have, but maybe Discord thinks otherwise.
Okay, but that was a real jet seed.
Yeah, it was. I was a little worried when I didn't find supers in Torvis, because I realized the only real item that I could have gotten in Logic that I didn't get was Vent Area A. So it's like, okay, Vent Area A was either Boost Ball or Power Bombs. And then when I saw it was Power Bombs, I'm like, okay, fine, I'm on track. Like, I'm doing the right thing. And then I realized that Vent Area A Power Bombs, you were supposed to go all the way back to Torvis to get Spider from Cache A, and I was like, okay, thank God I did that, and I got Screw Attack early as well, because you weren't supposed to be able to get Screw Attack until Boost Ball, I think, or Supers.
Until Supers, yeah.
Yeah, which, so I'm really glad I got it on that trip, and then I decided, okay, I have Spider Ball now and main Power Bombs. I'm just gonna go into Sank with the Cobalt that I found, because I haven't used it yet. I'm like, okay, I might as well just read some more hints and then just let those control what I do instead, because I don't want to make unnecessary checks. And then I ended up finding Supers, which I was extremely happy about that. And then I just decided, okay, I'm gonna save in main gyro, and because I knew Boost Ball was in Cat W, I'm like, okay, if I need to go back to Torvis, I can, using the statue tricks. I just decided to save in main gyro for hints, and I ended up needing to stay in Sank for a couple keys anyway. So the route just kind of fell on my lap.
And we saw MightyCaesar get supers really early on, right after.
Yeah, I thought that might have been something I screwed up, because I'm like, okay, main power bombs were right there. I could have gotten these a long time ago, but I skipped out on Vent Area A.
I think actually
because I wanted to just go to Torvis.
Yeah, I think MightyCaesar got supers right around the time you picked up Screw Attack.
Around the time I picked up Screw Attack. Okay, interesting. Because when I picked up Screw Attack, the next thing I did was sprint to Vent Area A. So I was only a little bit behind.
The big mistake I made was I remembered the hint saying that Amber was in Temple Grounds, and then I forgot that I picked up Amber, so I spent more than half the seed trying to figure out where in Temple Grounds it threw Amber.
Yeah.
And then I only found out I had Amber because I scan dashed off of the Amber gate in the temple, and it opened, and I'm like, I'm stupid.
Did you hit the amber immediately at the start after getting the hint for it? When I got missiles,
Most likely.
I did the
Sure did.
I did the extended dash at the start to get the missile expansion, just because I don't like coming back if I don't have to. And then I found bombs. I'm like, okay, there's a decent chance that Amber is on the GFMC path. I want that first. So I decided to go get it. And then when I got it in comm area, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna risk like closing the security station gate. I'm just gonna go read hints. And that ended up biting me because Space Jump was in GFMC. And I knew about that because there was an Amber hint for it. I don't remember where. I think it was Aegon Energy Controller or something. You said it was 2 rooms away from a translator, right?
It was 2 rooms away from 2 rooms away from a translator.
Okay, so I knew it had to be from the Amber or from a translator I didn't already find. So I just went to GFMC, and if I didn't find Space Jump there, I was just going to do the extended dash for the ship. But I'm glad I didn't have to.
Yeah, on the subject of extended dashes, we really got to compliment your movement tonight.
Oh, I've been doing any % practice recently. I haven't done rando. I did 1 warm-up for it this race, but before that, my last randomizer was my last week race, so about 9 days ago. So it was just any % that made my dashes better. Just miscellaneous practice.
And also, thanks, Caesar, for the little input viewer. That was pretty insightful. I was trying to figure out like what people did for Incash 2. Aaron, actually, you managed to get that first try as well.
It's just
kudos to both of you.
1 frame depress, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I should put my input.
I did a
display
lot worse than
like
I
that on
normally
my
do
game.
at that because, it's been a while since I haven't gotten that first try.
Yeah, me too. What did you think?
But I
about
haven't been able to
Cobalt?
play in like 4 days. Is because of power being out. So
Yeah. When you found Cobalt, what did you think? In Incash 2.
I thought that's an interesting place for Cobalt, considering that I don't have logical access to anywhere outside of just the first couple rooms of Spider Side.
Yeah, it was intriguing for me.
Not gonna lie, when we saw that the Aegon keys were in Sank, Inghive, and Temple Grounds, we thought that both of the Sank keys were going to be Culling Chamber and Hall of Combat Mastery. But
Sank
Hall of
keys?
Combat Mastery had a Sky Temple key instead.
Yeah, it did.
The Aegon keys Aegon keys said they were in Inghive and Sanctuary and
Temple Grounds. I
Yeah.
think.
So we figured, all right,
That's why I skipped out on some of the keys, because I knew Chico was dead, Inghive keys are useless, and Aegon keys, they're not in this area, so I skipped out on a bunch of them.
that's what we figured as well. But we were just placing bets. It's like, all right, are both of those red keys just going to be right next to each other in Spider's Treasure? But only one of them was.
Yeah.
Close, but not quite. No bosses tonight. How about that?
Yeah, when I read the Chica hint in Mining Station B, and I took the cannon out, I kind of like put my head down and like looked at the ground while walking to the door to like try to look like I was sad about no Chica.
Oh.
But no.
Well, if you did want to go get Cannonball, you could have gone to Grand Wind Chamber.
Yeah, I was surprised I didn't have to go there at all. Because when I went there with Space Jump, I didn't have an expansion either, because usually I go there regardless of whether I have Super Attack or not, but I didn't end up needing it.
Yeah, Mighty Caesar ended up pulling the BSJ Screw Attack to grab it after picking up Screw Attack.
Oh, okay.
I almost got
you go.
the most beautiful roll jump to get to Incash 2 to get to the floating platform that you then dash off of, rather.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know how to do movement in that room when you want to get the item without Screw Attack. So I just scanned the 3 posts without falling to the ground, and then I jumped on the platform, and luckily the platform cycle worked out perfectly fine. Yeah, Randomizer makes me learn movement that I usually don't do. when I was in Portal Chamber, I grabbed a Sky Temple key and I went back I went out of bounds, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna muscle memory any %, like load Great Bridge around me. Then I realized, wait a second, I'm stupid. I'm supposed to go get the Sky Temple key in Torvus Lagoon, and then go around to the portal to get that morph ball related upgrade or whatever it was in cache. So then I wasted like 30 seconds there failing to hit the load trigger. Like an idiot.
That'll
So
happen.
where was Seekers? Or where were
Seekers?
Seekers, rather?
Oh,
Seekers weren't
Sand
sand cache.
Sand cache, yeah. There was the Seekers were an Aegon hint, and then I realized when I grabbed the portal access A item or whatever, I was like, do I grab sand cache now because it might be Seekers, or do I just, or like a beam or something, or do I just fight Bomb Guardian first because it's faster? So I delayed it. Luckily, if I fell down doing the extended dash to Bomb Guardian, I would have just grabbed Seekers then, but I didn't fail it, so luckily I didn't forget to go scan that gate.
When I realized that I had forgotten I had Amber, I was like, okay, so it's either Seekers or Boost Ball that is on, and that's in Sand Cache, so I've definitely lost this.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Well, outside of just
I made a
wasting
mistake
40
like that with
minutes.
Seekers. I did landing site start last week, and even though my opponent forfeit, it still took me over 2.5 hours to finish because Seekers were required for like 5 items, and even though they were the first item I got in GFMC, I played the whole seed assuming I didn't have them until the very end.
Oh
Which was
my.
a huge mistake. I wall crawled everywhere looking for Echo Visor for Mining Plaza, but it was in Mining Station B the whole time.
Oh jeez.
Was Echo Visor just a bait in this seed, by the way?
It was not.
No,
Sentinel's Path.
Sentinel's Path.
Yeah.
Okay.
I lucked into that, like already having those 2 items, because I saved and sank. I went to read the hints, and it's like, okay, I have the energy control, I have Sentinel's Path, then I can go to Torvis for Under Temple, Grapple Guardian, grabbing the boost ball, like in Cat W to go over the statue, and then all I have to do is phase on grounds. So like the route just fell into my lap. It was kind of brain dead, but it was nice to just like once I read the hints, and it was only like an hour or 5 minutes in or whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty confident I'm gonna win this at this point. That's why I shot Dark Burst at Power on Guardian when it knocked me off.
Yeah. Guardian always gave me a little trouble today.
Screw that guy. I don't like him.
Well, at least I can say that outside of that incredibly stupid mistake, my gameplay in general felt fairly decent for being a bit out of practice.
That's good. I mean, I commentated your last week race. Like you're pretty good. Like, you know what you're doing. You got a lot of good dash tech, instant morphs and stuff. Like I enjoyed watching. Boost jump. Did you do a boost jump somewhere?
I think he found the boost jump in one chamber, right?
Yeah. I also found the one in dang it, I don't remember No, I don't believe I found that one, but I found the one that allows you to get what is it, like the Reflecting Grove? The place with the scannable portal in Torvis. Meditation Vista.
Oh, you found that
Yeah.
boost jump? Yeah.
Yes. It's the worst trick I have ever found or performed.
That trick is
But I
extremely
found it.
fun. I spent a couple hours trying to get that without space jump for my no space jump playthrough, because the other alternative is to wall crawl all the way over there from Torvis Temple and then like go to the skybox and then fall, like morph onto the platform, and you have to like time it correctly so you actually hit the platform. It's so awful. But
I think it
Space Jump is
might
really
be possible to get that without space jump with the boost, but like
can.
it's so incredibly, it's very precise.
I stole the idea from one of Mass Kirby's tasks. I was like, I wonder if I can try this in real time, but I couldn't do it. You know, I'm glad we were able to do the race. I would have much rather preferred to race you than like just get a bye because you weren't
Yeah,
able to play
because
that
of the
time.
weather knocking out
best of luck
everything.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that stuff turns around fast.
Yeah, like even with the fact that power has like been on, like 22% of my frames this stream have been dropped, which indicates that there's some issues still going on.
Yeah, believe me, everybody in chat, and us included, are raising our hands in the air, giving you as much positive energy as we can right now.
For sure.
Nice thing is, it seems like at least the power part of the stuff is mostly resolved. But, yeah, for anybody else who's in a similar situation, be sure to stay warm, take care of yourselves.
Absolutely. Well, with that said, is there anything else you two would like to say before we close out?
Watch the other race, SpeedGaming 1, between Bash and Kirby.
That's
I want to go
either
watch
about
that.
to start or just started.
I think it started
It
a bit
just
ago.
passed the 10-minute mark, and they just discovered Kirby Master just discovered that Amorbus has Amber Translator.
Oh,
Nice.
hell yeah. That's awesome.
Nice.
So, yeah, folks.
Yeah, definitely go watch that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully check is required.
We'll see.
All right.
Well, thanks for commentating and tracking, of course. I'll
Yes.
watch this one back after.
Especially
Kirby's
being
race.
willing to do it so last minute.
No problem.
Good night, folks.
All right. Yeah, we will be turning you over, hopefully, to the Speed Gaming 1 race. But yeah, give both of our runners a follow. They put on a fantastic show for you tonight. Follow my amazing co-commentator, Jagger G.
And of course, Captain MD13.
And we also want to shout out Jojo Mojo, our amazing tracker for tonight. So thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your night, and we will see you next mission.
Bye.